right, welcome everybody to round one. Let's tell our players they are good to go. We are looking at Tyler's side here on even Feln, and we've got chickenarise on Reanimator up at the top of the screen. All right, what do we see here, Aqua?
All right, so far it looks like we've got a Grenahen in the hand there. Got to do the Grenahen dance.
Yeah, Grenahen plus Evenhand Golem in your opener is pretty sweet. Also, look at this all foiled out deck. Foil Grenahen, foil Golem, foil Felrock. Love it.
Yeah, this is a really nice draw right off the bat for you. Oh, and then you pull another fixing right there for you.
Absolutely, and right off to the races here. Tyler going to play that even-handed Golem. 2 cost 1/1 Voidbound summon effect. If you have no odd cards in your deck, which this deck does not, draw 2 cards. So you're basically getting a body and getting 2 cards off of it. So just going to town there, and then we've got Felrock to be able to discard and play. But both players are going to be playing things off of discard because Chickenarise plays a Privilege of Rank. Draw Justice Sigil from your deck. If it's discarded, play it from your Void. So you basically get to play it for free if you discard it. Chickenarise playing out a Master Cartographer, a 2/1 that says draw a card, then discard a card, discarding the Privilege of Rank to get to play it for free. So much value. You get a 2/1, you draw a card, and then you get to play the Privilege for free. Pretty sweet synergy there.
Got draw coming out. Once you get to 4 primal synergy, I believe he gets decay, right?
So Jural is the one that's the time one. Jural is the one that says when you get to 4, you get to start drawing a card if it's a spell, and then when it gets to 6, he gets +2/+2 in Berserk. And sort of the quote unquote ultimate for Jural, the 8 influence one is whenever you cast a spell, deal its cost to the enemy player. So that's what I call the machine gun effect. You just start casting spells and dealing tons and tons of damage.
Yeah, that with the Grenahen coming up next. Those are coming up in here on the next turn for sure.
Oh, and look at that again. Chickenarise playing out a Sporefolk, discarding another Privilege of Rank there. And so again, Chickenarise not really playing much justice in this deck. It's really mainly just for this effect. It's really a Feln kind of discard Reanimator deck, but because this Justice card gives you so much value for discarding cards, you might as well just splash Justice just for this effect. Pretty awesome.
All right, here he comes.
All right, there's the Grenahen. Was that a miss?
Looks like there's a exploit that went into the void.
Yeah, I think that might have been a miss, a dazzle and an exploit there, but that's okay. Here we go. And this one, we're going to hit another Grenahen. So Grenahen number 2 draws Grenahen number 3 for Tyler.
Yeah, this is a lot of board control here coming off early. This is, I don't know if what Chickenarise has in their hands, but we'll see what they play. This is just going to be tough to deal with. Oof.
All right, in Chickenarise's hand, they've got the chicken himself. They've got a Grenahen in hand. They've also got Big Azendale. They're going to want to try to reanimate that, and a Gust Rider. But unfortunately for Chickenarise, they have a lot of power. They've got about 5 power in hand. So some of that, of course, came from the Privilege of Rank, but still, having 5 power, they don't have a reanimation spell, so what they're really hoping to do is find a way to get to the market or find a way to get a reanimation spell to dump this Azendale they have in hand and then be able to play it for free, reanimate it there. Gonna draw another Gust Rider instead of the Black Sky Harbinger here. Here comes the Gust Rider. Onslaught, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. Gonna draw a Gust Rider and another Azendale, and here comes both Azendales into the Void. So the way that this deck works is it's trying to get these huge units into the Void to reanimate them, which essentially means play them straight from the Void. So instead of having to pay the 8 cost and of course the influence there, you get to play these busted units earlier in the game straight from the Void. So that's what these Gust Riders can help do. Draw some cards, throw them into the Void, and all Chickenarise needs to do now is find a way to get these back, find a way to get these Azendale straight into play, and that's going to be tough sledding for Tyler. But no card in hand yet to do that, so Chickenarise still sort of in setup mode, if you will.
Why did the Grenahens cross the road?
Why did the Grenahens cross the road, Aqua?
To kill the other Grenahen on the other side.
True. To kill the other Grenahen, draw some cards. All right, here comes Honor of Claws for Tyler. Draw 3, discard 1. And they're going to discard Felrock. Lots of discarding in this match on both sides. Felrock the Outcast is a 6-cost 5/2, but it says if Felrock is discarded, you get to play him from your void, and then a summon effect, the enemy player discards a card from their hand and then discards its cost from the top of their deck. So what Tyler did there was Honor of Claws, draw 3, discard 1, discarded 1, and then discarded that Felrock, which means they got to play it for free. So lots of discarding and playing things for free in this matchup. Lots of Grenahens too. Here's Grenahen, the 4th one we've seen here. All right, and
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's going to draw a Keelo. So Keelo says a 2-cost 1/3. Pay 2, exhaust Keelo, and sack a unit to play another unit from your deck with cost equal to the sacrifice units plus 1 for each of its battle skills. So lots of words there, but it basically means you get to play things for free from your deck based on the cost and skills of your units.
Stormbreak was actually number 8 on the set usage.
Yeah.
For the last open, so only 4%, 188 cards. I have to believe those were all Grenahen.
A lot of them were. Yeah, lots of good sweet power in that new set. So thanks to Direwolf for being able to give us some sweet new toys to play with here. All right, chickenarise did finally find a merchant in that last draw. So now they have a merchant, which means they can go to their market and they can get a Grasp at Shadows and they can play whatever they want from their void. Presumably this big, one of these 2 big Azendels here. The 7/7, make some units, draw some cards. We'll see that hopefully next turn for chickenarise. But Grenahen number 6 so far in this game.
That is a lot of Grenahens. This might be the most Grenahens I think I've seen so far.
Yep, there we go. And that's going to draw a Vine Grafter for Tyler. And this is what this even Feln deck wants to do. You just look at it. Tyler has played out cards every turn, and they still have 7 cards in hand. Just everything you play just draws you more cards. It just refills your hand. And here comes that draw. It's on 6 influence now. So that's a 3/5 Berserk. Whenever you attacks, you get to draw a card and then discard it if it's not a spell. But once that gets to 8, Tyler's going to be able to do tons and tons of damage here. Here comes the Vine Grafter as well.
With that free block.
Yeah, absolutely. This card's sweet. 2/2 free blocks. Go to the market. Great.
Yes, I'm a big fan of this, and it stacks with Azrael, and he brings out those Razor bots.
Sure does. All right, and now that's actually pretty interesting here. So this attack with Felrock, I mean, it's fine attack, but look how well Grenahen matches up against Felrock. 2 1/3s can double block a 5/2 Felrock, and it's just trades for 1. So you trade your 1 5/2 Felrock for 1 of their Grenahens. Pretty good trade on chickenarise's side.
Yeah, I was a little worried about these 1/1 flyers, 3 1/1 flyers on the board, but you got this 3/5 draw who is just spitting out like a machine gun, you said. So I just feel like Tyler's still got the board control here despite, opposing 3 flyers.
They do. It'll be interesting to see once Chickenarise is able to grasp at Shadows and start reanimating things, if those units are going to be powerful enough to take over this board. I imagine it's still Azendel is going to be what's going to be Grasp at Shadows, but you could also see Black Sky Harbinger come out too. Ooh, going to Haunting Scream. Okay. So that's a good one. So Haunting Scream says play a unit with cost 5 or less from your void. It gets charged and flying, but then you have to sacrifice it. So check out this. Dark Purveyor. Going to get flying and charge. It's a 5/3. Summon. Give one of your other units power equal to the number of units in your void. So it's able to pump one of these Gust Riders up to a 13 power unit, and that's going to knock Tyler all the way down to 11. And one of these things the Feln deck has trouble with is doesn't have any answer to flyers right now, and just kind of has that spot removal. And look at this, because of this, it stays, so it's permanent with that Dark Purveyor. So it's a permanent 13/1 flyer. So now Tyler's at 11. All of a sudden, Tyler has to have an answer to this, or they're just dead on board.
Huge momentum shift with that play.
But here's the one that you called in the overview. There's your boy, Silverblade Menace. It'll drain for 4 and give you a 4/4 regen blocker.
Yeah, if you think Krill is too much to throw in your market, definitely throw in a Silverblade Menace if you're running Shadow.
Now it's interesting for Chickenarise because now this is a clean answer to this 13/1. You know, they have a 4/4 regen, can just block and eat this 13/1 for free. So a little less, no longer good attacks for Chickenarise. And they have a Keelo in hand. They want to start sacrificing units. Ooh, another Merchant to go back to the market's a pretty good draw. Welcome everybody in Twitch chat. We really appreciate you being here today. Hopefully you'll settle in for the next few hours, get to watch some high-level Eternal action. We're excited to be here. It's been a couple weeks, but yeah, hopefully everybody got a little rest after that pretty intense open 2 weeks ago.
Oh, here it is. I found it. I knew I wrote it down in my notes. Number 3. Silverblade Menace was number 3 in the top 25 market cards of the Open.
Yeah, it is a good
14,
market card. Yeah, so
14 of them.
basically a flying body that summon deal damage to the enemy player equal to the number of spells in their void, and you gain that much health. It's sometimes it just helps you stabilize because you can gain health and get a 4/4 flyer or 3/3 flyer. Sometimes it's great when you want to close out a game. You're stuck. Both players are just stuck at a board together, and all of a sudden you slam the Silverblade Menace, and sometimes you can drain them for 10 or 20 in one shot. All right, here comes Keelo. So remember, Keelo allows you to sack units to draw units from your deck equal to their power, equal to their cost plus the number of abilities they have. So here's Dark Purveyor again off of that Merchant. That's going to pump up another flyer by 14. Now you've got a 13-1 and a 15-1. 4/4 blocker can only block one, Aqua.
It's better than nothing.
Pretty good. So you're going to pop the regen and you're going to hit Tyler down to 2. Now 2 is not 0, so Tyler's still alive here and still has a flying blocker. And notably, the Grenahens have lifesteal as well, so not dead yet.
Yeah.
Also, here comes this fully powered up Geralt with 8 power. So each of these Honor of Claws hit face for 4. Herald Song hits face for 2. I don't think Tyler's able to do lethal here. That'd be a ton of damage, but close. Ooh, Annihilate's a really nice draw. That can take out the 13-1 flyer cleanly.
Yeah, that'll save you. You'll live to see another day. Got enough to block with everything.
Yep, got enough to block. Actually gonna attack with those Grenahens too and just gain some health back. Yeah, that lifesteal.
Send it.
Now let's see. Let's take a look at what chickenarise market is, because they've got another Merchant in hand. They can get a Keelo, Grasping at Shadows, or a Krull out of the market. Ooh, a brood of Grenahens. I like that, Hatchet Ninja. A brood of Grenahens. That's what we're gonna start calling them. All right, Tyler gonna attack in with the Geralt. So this has Berserk, so it can attack twice, which means it gets to do that draw trigger twice. The first one missed. It was an even-handed golem. It has to be spells to keep those cards.
Is that brewed like a beer? BREWED?
Not quite. BROOD. Like that.
Okay.
A brood of Grenahens. It's nice. But I don't know. Brood Grenahens might be good too.
You could probably brew some beer inside them, right?
Probably. Second one's going to miss as well. Going to hit a Vine Grafter, but is going to knock chickenarise down to 11. Tyler setting up for future turns here, because Tyler feels very comfortable surviving this with that Annihilate in hand. And then they have, remember, they'll deal damage to face for each spell they cast. So they've got at least 4 damage from Honor of Claws, 2 from Annihilate, 2 more from Herald Song. That's 8 damage in hand right now. So if Tyler can survive this turn, they might just be able to use that machine gun effect and just take care of chickenarise on this turn. Let's see. Chickenarise just drew a power for turn. That's not really going to help him here.
Yeah, my dog is going crazy in the background, so I usually shut off my mic for you.
No worries at all. We appreciate it. All right, thinking about this one. So tough choice here for chickenarise. Thinking about what to do. They can use this Merchant. As I mentioned, their market is Keelo, Grasping at Shadows, and Krull. So they can try to get something with Krull. What is it? New influence. So it's double Shadow. So they have the influence for Krull. They don't have the power to go to the market this turn and Grasping at Shadows. And they're going to be pretty afraid of this Geralt. Really, it's an awkward spot for chickenarise, because chickenarise knows if they pass it back to Tyler, there's a very good chance that Tyler can get 11 damage through what's on the board here. So it's a tough choice. But I don't think they have the opportunity to kill Tyler this turn either. So it's really close.
Just a quick update on the bracket for you. We got Doc 28 2-0 over Martin. Arang Q13 over Duocat. D-Dub 2-0 over Phoenix. Frafa over Systium. A Romanova 2-0 over Danibor. And Chris E over HeyYU. 2-1 close match there. That one.
We hunt as a pack.
Hey, thank you so much, Cassandra, for that 4-month resub. Heads up plays and snowballs for you, my friend. Really appreciate all the support. Thank you for supporting the tournament series and the stream. You make it possible for all of us to do this, and we really appreciate your help. So thank you. Heads up in the chat for Cassandra. Get your snowballs, get your heads up. We really appreciate the support here. Very much appreciated. chickenarise
so much.
Still trying to figure this out. Is a tough play for sure.
I saw that. At 13 was coming up over the top there, and then they decided maybe I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Ooh, sack.
All right, they're gonna sack using that Keelo. Ooh, but that didn't work the way they wanted. Sack needed to play. Yeah, that didn't exactly work, and chickenarise is gonna toss that one in. I don't think that's the way they drew it up, but that's all right. Let's bring it back here. They may have been facing down lethal anyway on that one, but let's bring it back and take a closer look at this deck list. Remember, all of these matches are best of 3. So game 1 going to Tyler.
Yeah, that draw ascending man was really the MVP this game, I believe. I mean, or
quite good.
Or the Brood of Grenahen.
Turns out even Feln just drawing cards and playing out good cards, value cards every turn does pretty well. It was a little awkward for chickenarise not having they didn't really have that reanimation early in the game. You know, you can reanimate things later in the game, but at that point your opponent already has a ton of value, so it's not quite as strong. All right, well our players are ready for game 2, so let's head down to the action here. Tyler took a mulligan. Looking at this one, they've got double primal symbols here. One premium, one not premium. I complimented you earlier, Tyler, but you're throwing me off with these symbols, but pretty good. And a speaking circle here. Let's make sure the players know that they're good to go. This does seem like a little bit of a tough matchup for chickenarise's deck, this Reanimator into this Feln deck. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Now Tyler takes that mulligan. Redraw there. They got Speaking Circle, Exploit, Herald Song, Felrock. That seems pretty good. If they can get this influence up, they can get that nice synergy where they discard Felrock and play it for free. But you need 3 Primal and 3 Shadow in order to make that happen here.
Maybe we'll see Azendel come out this time for Chickenarise.
Could be. Chickenarise this time starting with 2 power or 3 power in hand, a Grenahen, a Vara Fate Touch, that's a big reanimator as well, Blight Pass Smuggler, and a Krenadin Merchant. So this time, Chickenarise has ways to go to the market early. They can get that reanimation spell. They can toss Vara if they want. So lots is going to, again, be some setup here. Oh, a nice hit. Discarding that Privilege of Rank. So let me talk about that one more time. Another reason that this synergy is nice is because the way that Grenahen is templated, it says, draw a unit or spell that deals damage from the top 3 cards of your deck, then discard the rest. And that triggers this discard effect of Privilege of Rank. So not only does Chickenarise have ways to straight up discard cards, but even the Grenahen cast summon ability, draw a unit, and then pitch your Privilege of Rank, and you get to play it for free. So really sweet synergy there. That's I didn't notice that at first, but using the Grenahen as an additional discard outlet for that Privilege of Rank is pretty sweet.
Yeah. It's a wonder they didn't nerf the Grenahen on Wednesday.
That is true. That is true, but probably not with these sweet new cards from Stormbreak. Gotta give them a little bit of time in the sun to shine before we fire off the banhammer here.
I do like this. This Vara is interesting. I have the other Vara in my deck. I play the other one that has the life steal. This is the 8-drop one.
Yeah, so the 8-drop Vara is a 6/6 deadly, and it says when you play a shadow unit, including Vara, you get to play another shadow unit from your void. So it's basically you get to play that, then you start just reanimating other shadow units from your void. And once big Vara goes off, it's really hard to stop because you just get a train of units and you fall behind pretty quickly on that. All right, here we go. So Back Alley Delinquent's going to discard that Vara Fate Touched, as well as a bunch of other cards. Chickenarise setting up this void here. All they need now is to go to the market, get a Grasping at Shadows, play this Vara, and then they're going to be off to the races here. Let's see what Tyler has to say about that. Tyler does have a Fel Rock in hand, a Speaking Circle, and an Honor of Claws. Now, notably for Tyler, they don't have the third Shadow Pip, so they cannot get the free discard on Fel Rock yet. They need to get another Shadow Influence before that'll happen. All right, Grenahen here for Tyler. See what we got. Tough choice here. Gonna grab Damara, Deft Saboteur. Gonna discard a Fel Rock and a Dazzle, but as I mentioned, unfortunately, discarding this Fel Rock is not gonna trigger because only 2 pips. You need 3 Shadow Pips in order to be able to get that discard effect. So unfortunately, no value there for Tyler.
I'm just going through the decks and seeing if anyone still has an Icaria
Yeah,
in
Shadow
their deck.
Icaria.
Yeah, I have not seen one yet, but I have seen a Mavaloft Huntress in somebody's deck.
Attacking in with Chickenarise. They're going to attack in units, and now they're going to have Smuggler. I assume this is a Grasping at Shadows. Nope, it's a Krull. Okay, going to hit the Krull. Going to take 1 damage. Presumably to get... Yeah, going to get that Darkwater Vines back here. So Krull, of course, allows you to reanimate things. Gets back this 2/1 regen. Darkwater Vines going to fire off this Sabotage here.
Yes, lots of Krull in this tournament.
Take that Honor of Claws for Tyler. Discard a few more things, and here we go. There's another Speaking Circle hit there. Another Speaking Circle to draw, though. So Tyler's 1 turn away from starting this Speaking Circle going off, and that's going to be tough for Chickenarise to deal with as well. Oh, and look at that. Damara Deft Saboteur has the ultimate. Pay 5 to draw a card of your choice from the enemy player's market, and they took Chickenarise's Grasping of Shadows. Wow.
Yoink.
So look at that, taking that Grasping at Shadows. I didn't even think about that last turn, but Chickenarise, I guess, being punished for not going to the market last turn when they had a chance. That Grasping of Shadows is now gone. So now that reanimation on that big Vara is a little bit tougher for Chickenarise now.
Wow, yeah, I went through every single deck and I did not see one Icaria. So that is a bold statement.
Yeah, I know that was one of the more controversial ones, whether Shadow Icaria really needed a nerf or not. But here we are, is nerfed and no longer seeing play in Throne, as we can see here. Chickenarise attacking in 4/3 with that regen Vines, can take that damage. Now the life totals not the most important thing in this matchup. You know, both of these decks are trying to get value and trying to set up engines, and so it's a little bit less important what exactly your life total is at this point in the game, but it'll be relevant later. Chickenarise just going to go to the market and grab their Blight Pass Smuggler back that they tossed in earlier.
Yeah, it's Avion who's running Mavaloft Huntress in the Barb Camp. Kira.
Yeah, I think Huntress is still going to see quite a bit of play. I mean, it was very good before, and I think even at 3 costs, it's still very good. Ha! Look at this. So the Fel Rock, Tyler finally hitting the Shadow, able to play the Fel Rock, able to get the discard effect, but forcing Chickenarise to discard a Privilege of Rank, which just gives them another Justice Sigil in hand. Oh man, the discard value on both of these players. Ooh, good draw here, though, for Tyler. So Waylay says the enemy player discards each copy of a unit or site of your choice from their deck, and then they can decimate to steal the enemy player's void. They also stole the Grasping at Shadows, so what Tyler can set up here, if they want, over the course of a couple of turns, is Waylay, steal Chickenrise's void, including Big Vara, and then Grasping at Shadows the Vara, and start, basically, I'm the Reanimator deck now, if they want to.
This is wild.
Yeah, wild match here for sure. Nice Reanimator deck, but I'm going to take it. Attacks here for Chickenrise. Some pretty good blocks for Tyler. But here comes that Black Sky Harbinger. Life 4/5 flying lifesteal. Deal 1 to everything. So going to make quick work of Tyler's board. Left with nothing but a Grenahen. Now some units on Chickenirise hand. So I think Chickenrise now, the reanimation plan is off. Now it's time to be the beatdown. Let's see if Chickenrise can apply enough pressure. But I don't know. I feel like that's a long... Even though the board looks to be in Chickenise's favor, I feel like Tyler's got the card advantage. They've got the void advantage. I think that it's not going to take much for Tyler to stabilize this game.
Yeah, I can't post memes in the chat, so I gotta type it in the chat. Nice Reanimator deck. Would be a shame if I were to take it.
Indeed. All right, so the three options on Speaking Circle are Righteous Intent, Sodi's Choice, and Bring Down. So Bring Down is a nice hit off Speaking Circle. That's going to be a clean answer to Black Sky Harbinger. That'll help clear the way. Unfortunately for Tyler, I think the Speaking Circle is going down here. Not sure there's much that Tyler can do to stop that from happening if Chickenrise wants to take out that Speaking Circle, which, spoiler alert, taking out your opponent's Speaking Circle is usually a good plan.
Yeah. Yeah, I always feel great when I destroy my opponent's site. I'm like, yeah! I'm like, I don't know if that seemed like a big deal to you guys or not, but it seemed like a big deal to me.
All right, down goes the site. Tyler just going to get the free block, get that 1 point of lifesteal, but Speaking Circle down. Draw Ascending, not a bad draw, though. We'll see if Tyler wants to go, though. Instead, they can do the Waylay Grasping of Shadows plan, though, that I mentioned if they want to. They've got 8 power, so Waylay, Decimate, Steal, Grasping of Shadows, play your Vara seems like an incredible play. I don't even know what else they can get. They can get Vine Grafter back. They can get a Fell Rock back. All right, instead, going to play out the Geralt first. And then they're going to fire off. Then they're going to fire off the Waylay. Get a little bit of extra damage from the Geralt. Get the Geralt out. All right, and there it goes. Nice void, friend. Now it's mine. Now Tyler has all that hard work that Chickenrise did to get power, to get powerful units into their void. Now belongs to Tyler.
I'm so glad I made my comment in chat.
In 5 minutes, they'll get it.
Yeah.
And Chickenrise, the cherry on top for Chickenrise, or the dagger, has got to be that Chickenrise has gone to the market. They know that Tyler took their Grasping of Shadows, so they're just waiting for it to happen. And here it goes. 5 damage from Geralt to the face. Get back your Vara.
Look who's back, baby.
And that is game. That is just too much value. Plus the rubbins. Ouch. That's gotta hurt. Getting beat hurts already, but then getting beat with your own cards using your own strategy feels really bad.